Jackson Radio Show.
Welcome back, everybody. Kevin Jackson. It's the Kevin Jackson Show. So we're always comparing and contrasting things, and we compare and contrast Barack Obama to Donald Trump. It's an easy compare and contrast. Barack Obama stepped up. When he moved into the White House, it was a huge step up for him. Wherever he lived in Hyde Park or whatever the area of Chicago, it didn't matter. The White House represented something grandiose, an achievement he could never have, and so on and so forth. I'm talking about financially and otherwise. And you could look at the presidency in and of itself is, something to behold. But Barack Obama is a professional politician, and he loved to campaign, a professional campaigner, probably second only to Bill Clinton in terms of his ability to make the impossible happen. And with Barack Obama, he needed a whole lot of other help. He needed the backdrop of Jackie Robinson in the first. Bill Clinton just he had to campaign because this dude was fighting himself most of the time. So I would rate Bill Clinton a better campaigner than Barack Obama. Barack Obama caught the whirlwind of firstness, right? And he rode it in, and he rode it out just as badly. But it's easy comparisons. Donald Trump took a financial step down, a huge financial step down to become president. Now you could say he took a step up because he's now leader of the free world versus just being leader of a very global world that he built for himself. So a slight step up from being a billionaire business mogul to being president of the United States. I'll give him it's a step up, but not anywhere near from being a failed community organizer and that step up. But what about the step up otherwise? The step up for the first ladies. Michelle Obama had done nothing with her life. She's ridden the coattails of her husband, collected money from a hospital, sat on the board of a hospital making $350,000 a year to do nothing, to reject poor people from the hospital, to run cover for them as they didn't have to follow the rules of other hospitals because, and only because, her husband was a senator. That's the reason why she sat on that board. So I could give you lots of information in terms of what it was that she did in her life, but it is a huge step up to become from being the wife of a senator, a junior senator at that. He wasn't even a big deal in the Senate, to becoming president of the United States and everybody knowing that you're wholly unqualified. So what was she? If he was wholly unqualified to be president, she was wholly unqualified to be first lady. And what did Michelle Obama do? She flaunted it. First time in her adult life, she was proud of the country because they had elected her husband as president, knowing how incompetent he was. But she was proud of that. You overlooked that. Congratulations, America. You were willing to forgive his incompetence, and you were willing to do so because of his color. See, that's the thing that made her most proud. You can overlook his accomplishments or lack thereof and apply the affirmative action that was necessary to make him the president of the United States and her to be first lady of the United States because she was wholly unqualified. You can say, well, Kevin, she had the intellect. Okay, fine. If you want to believe that, that's cool. I don't disagree with you necessarily. It's pretty easy job. Did she have the class? It's debatable. Some people say she did. Some people say she didn't. I'll put it to you this way. There was nothing. Michelle Obama was groomed to be a junior senator's wife. I don't think she was ready to be first lady. That's my opinion. She was no Jackie O. I don't think she knew where all the dishes went, on the table. But she was it. And she came in and she, I didn't see anything wardrobe-wise. I used to ridicule her wardrobe. I thought, does she really understand that she's in the public eye day in and day out? Come on, Michelle, you can do better than this. Anyway, Melania Trump comes in, and I will tell you, of the first ladies, there's nobody more qualified to be a first lady than Melania Trump. She was the wife of a billionaire. I don't care how much money other people had. Trump's been the wealthiest president, I believe, and his wife knows class. And Donald Trump knew he had to make sure that she was classy. He hit a home run. Michelle Obama spent more than $1 million a year on personal aides. Maybe that's what it takes to keep somebody like her operational. Makeup and wardrobe alone. You needed Oprah's staff for that. Yeah, it's a slam. Oh, Kevin, you're slamming the previous first lady. I'm not slamming anybody. I'm telling you, Michelle Obama's not a naturally gifted lady when it comes to the looks and the style. She's not. She walks like a dude. She's tall and gangly. She's not overly attractive, and we can agree to disagree on that. That's okay. But there's nothing striking about Michelle Obama. They put her in makeup at times, and she can come off as appealing if she doesn't open her mouth. I don't mean in terms of speech. She doesn't have a pretty smile. Her teeth are a little, I don't know. There's nothing she does for me. And I'll admit it, it's just a personal preference. Melania is a beautiful woman. I don't care by whatever standards. Maybe there's some pygmy tribe in Africa that doesn't like pasty white women or whatever. Put whatever description you need to make her ugly. But in most cultures, she's considered a dish. Anyway, the new first lady, the billionaire's wife, found Michelle Obama's budget overkill, and Melania Trump brought fiscal responsibility back to the first lady's office, if you will. Does she have an office? I guess she does. But she slashed Michelle's budget by more than half. Like her husband, she runs a tight ship. She knows that the budget that is set for her and her staff comes from the taxpayers. She's not going to squander this money, which is what Michelle Obama did. Michelle Obama had 16 personal aides. Her staff totaled 24 employees. Obama even had an employee who had the title travel aide. Now, what exactly does a travel aide do? I picture some big black hunk who keeps his mouth shut and whose shift begins at night, if you know what I mean. But why not? Her husband traveled with Reggie Love, a man described as Barack Obama's, quote, body man. Love was also called affectionately his chief of stuff. I thought that was kind of funny. We do know that Reggie Love was paid, but I don't know how much he was paid. But I do know this. Michelle Obama's staffers cost $1.24 million a year. Now, for perspective, understand that America's new First Lady has 4 personal aides and a staff that totals a lot fewer than Michelle Obama. In fact, Melania Trump's staff totals 9 versus 24. Her staff costs less than $500,000 a year. Now, they also say that it's a nicer environment with Melania. I'm not going to argue. I don't know. But they say she's a much nicer person than Michelle Obama, who they called the Queen of Mean. Angry tantrums had staffers hiding from her at times. Same type of thing we heard about Hillary Clinton. So people were quick to criticize Melania, saying she doesn't have a background in politics. Like, that's bad. What exactly were you supposed to have? What first lady do you know had a background in politics? Hillary Clinton didn't. Hillary Clinton was a housewife who was a disgraced attorney. Who? Jackie O wasn't in political. She was just stylish. Name me. I mean, I'm not saying that there weren't some, but the majority of them didn't. It wasn't like that's a prerequisite for you to be first lady. Well, your wife has to be in politics. They said the same thing about Melania's husband, didn't they? The new president, President Trump, the unlikely president. How refreshing it is, people, to have a first lady who hasn't seen years of lying as her husband leapfrogged from one political lily pad to the next. Melania Trump married a frugal billionaire. She understands the pomp and circumstance of her position. She's got to throw the parties. She understands that. She's undoubtedly the most qualified first lady ever. This woman has seen parties and extravaganzas like you wouldn't believe. She's worked with her own personal staff for years. But the left, they canonize Michelle Obama. The woman who still considers America to be racist and sexist, and what of her actual policies? Michelle Obama was over the food lunch program, had more food thrown away. You could have fed African nations with the amount of food that was thrown away after that woman. But they cheered it. Childhood obesity program accomplished nothing tangible. Kids were so happy to see that and so happy to see Michelle Obama gone they couldn't see straight. But what's the First Lady tackling? The new one? Something that has bipartisan support. Opioid addiction. She hosted a roundtable forum regarding opioid addiction and the crisis in this country related to that. Far more people involved with this and how it's destroying families and school lunches. But they treat her like she's a pariah. The left, you should be ashamed of yourselves, really and truly. What a beautiful First Lady we have.
Kevin Jackson
on the Black Sphere Radio Network.
Do you owe back taxes to the IRS or state? The secret to avoiding the IRS nightmare is to seek professional representation. My friends at Security Tax Associates provide the most cost-effective and ethical representation in the industry while helping to avoid seizures, levies, and wage garnishments. Security Tax Associates is here to ensure that the appropriate steps are taken to permanently eliminate any possibility of future tax burdens once and for all. For a free, no-obligation consultation, contact Security Tax Associates, 844-779-4177. That's 844-779-4177. 844-779-4177. Or visit them at securitytaxassociates.com.